So when the mother has weaned the baby, that's when we get it.
That's so cool.
So the baby gets all the social nutritional benefit of being a mother-raised animal,
Right.
but it gets all the social benefit of being a people-raised animal at the same time, right alongside.
Where you going, girlfriend?
You're really chowing it down today.
It is.
You are so cute.
It's because she didn't finish her breakfast this morning.
Oh, you didn't finish your breakfast.
So you can make an animal eat from your hand, just don't feed it any other way. We would never do that. They get all of their food in their dish. Whether they eat it from me or whether they eat it out of their dish, they get the same food.
Yeah.
Just at some point, most of them decide that they very much prefer to eat from a person's hand, and then they don't like to eat out of the dish so much. So that's why she's eating so much right now. She didn't eat her breakfast this morning. I guess she was still asleep when it was breakfast time.
She's getting a good nap in.
Got mine in earlier. That looks like some good snacks though.
Hey Kevin, you want to bring us some spinach leaves in here? I think Kevin is watching in the other room. He used to watch in here while he worked cameras. So many people answer questions though ask questions that, I'm here for you, I'm not here for who's online. But if they answer questions, he tries to answer me as a computer in the other room. And then on days that I don't have a booked encounter, I'll sit in that chair and I'll do what you're doing and I'll answer questions if people have questions. Hey, thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. It's like the man behind the curtain. The great and powerful Oz.
Right.
You get some spinach leaves. So these other foods here she's just being introduced to. Her nutrition diet is her rice. She eats long grain organic rice with some dog food mixed into it for protein and with some sweet potatoes shredded in it for fiber. So when she first starts eating other foods, these little tiny sweet potatoes are, bigger than what she eats in her food. They're chopped up, to the size of rice or smaller. But then when she starts eating this, it's not new to her stomach. She's been eating it all along, just not having to chew it so much first. And then the spinach leaves, this will be her primary diet throughout her life. And in the wild, they can eat up to 10% of their body weight per day, all in leaves. And then in the wild, the little bit of protein they get comes from the beetles that live in the moths and the beetles that live in their fur. So when they groom themselves, they lick up a certain amount of the moths and a certain amount of the waste of the moths. And both of those things are good for them. So a sloth digests its food primarily by a bacterial process, where we are primarily by an enzymatic process. Hey, Zoe, no. Zoe, you done with your breakfast, sweetheart? When she's done eating her rice, she licks my fingers. So she's like, well, I'm done eating, I should lick you now.
Yeah.
But we don't like her lick other people because,
Yeah.
Who knows if you have lotion or something on. But she's done with her food and wanting to lick. So, but we don't like her lick.
Right.
Go your way. Also, some people see her go to lick and think that she's about to bite.
Oh, no.
She has massive teeth.
Yeah. Right.
She's still a baby, so her teeth aren't big like flashes. But watch when she opens her mouth. She's got some chocolate.
Yes, she does. I did first. Oh, I'm sorry.
She startles easily from noises. So now her belly's full again. She's ready to just chillax. Yeah, she likes you to pet her the speed of a sloth, like that fast. Yeah. So she's softer than she looks like she would be, right?
Yes, she is.
When you look at her, especially online, it looks like she would be all wiry haired.
It does.
And then when you actually hold her, she's quite soft. not as soft as like a bunny rabbit or something, but not wiry like it looks like she would be.
It should be.
Yeah. So what part of Chattanooga do y'all live in?
Right downtown.
Oh, okay.
She lives over on North Shore, and I actually live in Georgia, but it's only about 80 miles. I live down near Cartersville, Georgia.
That's where Kevin is from. I think Cartersville is sort of by Dawsonville, right?
No, Dawsonville's on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kevin grew up in Dawsonville, and he grew up in Bill Elliott's
I was just going to say, okay.
His dad was also Bill's engine builder.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been by there many times. Many times, yeah. I'm right where that's at. But yeah, I was telling some other people about this, and they're like, well, we'd love to do it. So I gave them the website info. But I was worried about traffic when we got going because they have one lane closed on the ridge cut. And I'm like, just sitting there, like, but we did just fine.
I like living up here because we have one red light. And if there's already a car when you get to that red light, that's a Benton traffic jam.
That's kind of like me. I'm in Waleska, which is actually a little town. We only have 4-way stop. I go to work in Cartersville, but I live in Waleska. It's really small.
I'm retired from the Navy, so I was in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake for many years, and traffic there is like, DC traffic. Because they got 80,000 people trying to show up to the Navy base all at 7 a.m. You'd think eventually they'd learn to stagger the start time, but they don't.
No.
So, if you want to be to work at 7, if you leave it, I only lived 14, 15 miles from the base. If I left at 5 till 6, I would barely make it there at 7. If I left at 5, I'd be there at 5:15.
Right. I used to work down near Atlanta, right down in Marietta, and if I left at a certain time, it would take me 3 hours to get to work sometimes because traffic was so bad.
I recently had to pick my sweet darling up from the airport, and I did a little video from sitting there on 75 and bumper to bumper as far as the eye can see, and I said, if this is your daily reality, you need to
It used to be. I don't have that anymore.
Chattanooga's getting like that now too.
I don't even drive to Chattanooga. I rarely leave the farm.
I don't blame you.
I would.
I just went on my first vacation in 5 years. I went to Turkey for a 7 Churches of Revelations trip. Revelation, not Revelations. 7 Churches of Revelation trip.
Yeah.
And it was awesome, but a cautionary tale that there are no Christian churches in Turkey anymore. Where it all started, all the 7 churches in Revelation, they're not there. There's not, when you read, International Mission Board says there's not one Christian within 100 miles of the Church of Smyrna. And I think the reason that's a cautionary tale is that everybody in the Middle East wants American culture and American music and American clothing and American food, but they don't want American religion. And I can only determine that the reason for that is that we do such a horrible job of underrepresenting how great it is to serve a God who actually loves us and cares about us and is interested in our everyday existence.
100% agree.
I think that if we are as miserable and as broken and as sick as our non-Christian neighbors, then we are living far below our privilege level. Because the promises that the Lord has made in the Bible are true, and I am living them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been proven over and over in my life. I know that.
For sure.
Mine too. I know that. And yeah, I think we are definitely not, it's not talked about like it needs to be. We need to be witnessing a whole lot more. I even say that day to day.
I grew up Baptist, and I currently attend the Baptist church. I'm not against the Baptist. But back in my childhood, the Baptist church was still preaching cessation of the gifts and just not expecting better. And when I was 18, and my dad was a preacher, when I was 18, all I really knew was hell was hot and you didn't want to go. I missed the whole loving God who actually
Right.
cares about my daily existence, and that changed my life after I had cancer back in 2001, and was really considering, what happens when you die.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
well,
The whole mortality.
I sure hope heaven isn't a fat little angel sitting on a cloud.
Absolutely.
How boring would that be? I mean, I don't want to go there, right?
I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, so
Well, my next door neighbor is an Adventist who teaches down there at the school.
at the school, at Southern.
His name is Dan Beasley. He's the science teacher.
Okay.
Not because he needs the money, but because he feels called to teach.
Yeah. I'm with a lot of my family live there at Collegedale. We're going to be out there tonight visiting some of them. But I grew up an Adventist, and I remember we went to a Revelation seminar at one point, and me and a couple of cousins, we rode with my grandparents at the time, and we talked about it all the way home. It's like you don't realize how awesome heaven's going to be.
Right.
Like, it's not going to be just sitting around on the clock. There's going to be things to do, and,
There's little kids staying in Canada this weekend. That's the pitter patter of little feet in the lower hats.
I know, I saw the gate said free range children.
Yeah.
And she goes, they just run around.
So they just running amok.
When I put that sign up, I still had a number of kids living at home. Mine are all grown. Only a couple of them live around here anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. And that is all about the upbringing from birth.
Yeah.
If just in case people have jumped on the ladder and haven't heard me say this, if you buy yourself a sloth, this is not what you are going to get.
Right. This isn't like something you just, walk out in the wild and grab one and they're going to hug on you now.
Well, and the government of Costa Rica is really, really trying to curtail people buying sloths. Just, as I said, if you pay less for your car than you paid for your sloth. Less for your sloth than your car. You're getting an animal that was taken from the rainforest. And the sloth petting. If a cruise ship pulls in and 6,000 people are on it, and you're a person who lives there, and you can grab a sloth out of the rainforest and get people to pet it at your roadside stand. One person in 10 on the cruise ship will give you $20 to pet that sloth. That's more than you made the rest of the year. So they're having serious problems with sloths being taken from the wild.
That's unfortunate. That's good to know, though.
That is good to know.
That you don't want to, be a part of that.
All animal encounters, you want to look at it before you go and see if it appears to be a place that is ethically treating animals. And all of my animals here are my babies and pets, and I love them. I wouldn't have them.
Now, sloths don't range very far from where they live, do they?
Not as a rule, but they used to think they lived in one tree or a very small set of trees. That is no longer thought to be.
Oh, really?
Thought to be the case. There are some radio-collared sloths out there right now. Actually, we have some bracelets out there that you get a bracelet and you get a little QR code to track a sloth.
We did that. I got that for Christmas.
She got me one for Christmas.
Is it the fallow?
Fallow, yeah.
Fallow, yeah.
Yeah, and so we have those here available now. That's a pretty cool thing. And those sloths actually get around quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's a little boy.
Yeah, I got all the kids.
Oh God, if you wouldn't ask me, I would know. I can't think of his name.
Oh.
I can't remember.
I'm trying to think too. I looked at it before I gave him
I know, and I can't think of his name. I have to look on my phone. But I had a picture of him, or a video of him in the tree, or whatever, in the wild, and sleeping and hanging there. It's cute. Do I keep scaring you? Do
After this, she's gonna go back to sleep and she probably won't wake up